got a comment from somebody trying to sell me a course on getting more followers. And I wanted to flag it because I understand why people care about follower count. But here's why they shouldn't. Followers don't equal money in your pocket. I actually have a newer client that was complaining that they weren't getting likes on their videos. They weren't getting comments. They weren't getting new follows. But when we actually dug into the ads manager and looked at the metrics, we could see that something like 60% of viewers were watching the full length videos that he was putting up. And we're talking about videos that are multiple minutes long. So that means that we're getting a very strong metric just with watch time. And if you know anything about the Andromeda update that I talk about all the time, the strongest signal for that system is watch time. So what that tells me is that while the vanity metrics might not be there, people are listening to the messaging. And I know that the ads are working. So how do I know that? Because the ecosystem is a filtering system. You only pay for the people that are genuinely interested in what you have to say. So if you've ever been on Instagram, I'm sure you have, where you see a video post from a close friend of yours, you might heart it and just swipe away. Maybe you're doing that just because you want to show support. Maybe you want to show that you paid attention. But the thing is, what if you don't actually watch that video? So what's a stronger signal to Andromeda? Its entire job, by the way, is to feed the user the next best piece of content. So do we care about a vapid like? Do we care about a follower or tens of thousands of followers of people who actually have zero interest in what you have to say? Or is a 25% view on a 4-minute video a stronger signal? I believe that 1 minute of watch time is a much stronger signal than a vapid like, and the data supports that. So how do you actually build this infrastructure for yourself? Well, think about it in terms of tiers, right? We're using this, like I said, as a filtering system. So tier number 1 at the top, this is our top of funnel. We're talking to the cold audience. These are the people that don't know us, they've never seen us before, and they're just getting interested in what we have to say, right? So you're putting your content out to fresh people. And the thing is most of it is going to people who don't care yet. And that's fine. That's the point. Because watch time tells the algorithm who does care. And those watchers become your invisible list. That becomes your warm audience. So then you have tier 2, and tier 2 acts like the filter, right? So we're just eliminating people that are not your ideal candidates. So we only care about the people who watched more of your content, and we let everybody else fall off. And this is really where the savings lies, because you're not paying to get eyeballs on people that don't want your product. They're not interested, right? So if you have tier 1 content, you make a couple videos and people just swipe away, well, those people will never see tier 2 content. But if you get that person to watch to the end, well, then they will see tier 2 content. You see how that works? So what we do is we're not paying for people that are not interested in what you have to say. And then we have a third tier at the bottom. And that is where you can start funneling in people to your offer. So by the time that somebody's in this layer, they've seen you a bunch, they know who you are, they know what you do, they've watched enough content to know that it resonates with them. And this is where you can talk about the offer, because at this point, they're already being pre-sold. This is a sales process. This is a sales funnel. I know a lot of people think about ClickFunnels and Kajabi and all these other software tools that are their funnel system, but a sales funnel is literally a sales process. It's what it takes to go from point A to point Z to where they buy. That could be as short as a billboard to a phone call, or a billboard to a website, or you can be running 10 different ads that lead somebody to making some kind of call to action, right? So maybe they book a call with you, or they opt in on something, or they just buy a digital product, whatever it is. And this is what filtering looks like when it's done correctly. If you have cold leads, that are falling off, right? There's a variety of reasons why people fall off. It could be that they are not ready to move forward. It could be that they can't afford things right now. Maybe they have life stuff coming up. Maybe they're distracted and they just had a kid. There's a million different reasons why people go cold. But you engineer it so that you show back up for those folks, so that they warm themselves back up to you through your system. So if they're still struggling months from now and they're consuming your content, they're going to reach back out to you because they'll see you as the solution to their problem. They're going to remember you, they're going to trust you, and they're going to understand your offer before you ever get onto a sales call. So when you're looking at your conversion rate, if you guys are struggling with that at all, when you use a system like this, you're really able to filter down. I like to think of it as like boiling off the salt, right? Like if you added salt into water and you put the pot on the stove and you boiled all the water off, what are you left with? You're left with the salt at the end. And that is what this system does. That's what it's built for. And it really helps with the conversion rate because at the end of the day, the people that you get on the call with, or the people that end up on your book a call funnel or your opt-in page, those are the people that are going to be most likely to buy.